just got a bomb. No one can pass it on to. Super gets hit by some water balloons out of heaven. Plays Nick. Has to flip over.
Ashen's gonna be falling into the abyss.
Hello and welcome to today's speedrun race. 1 second, I will be solving the webcam issues. Today we'll be having a speedrun race in the all cups no pickups category. And the drivers still have questions, and also they will be starting up their stream soon. So for that I cannot be fully invested at the moment. Has multiple strategies. We'll be having 8 different racers. In fact, let's have a look at the list. I hope it should be up to date. C has unfortunately pulled out in the end, but Kiki is able to participate, so it ended up being 8 regardless, and we will be having them on 2 screens. Also, if the music is gone, that's because I didn't add it to this scene. Is that up? But this is the list of players. We will be comparing them to the world record, which actually, let's look at the leaderboard. Out of the players today, GeForce has the best time, but a lot of players have runs that aren't uploaded there. So it's not very accurate. Fam, who is in the chat by the way, but I believe he's taking a bit of a break from the game. He is the world record holder. He barely did the sub 1 run more than a year ago, and that was quite the achievement at the time, and it still is, because no one came within 30 seconds as far as I'm concerned. And as far as the leaderboard goes, we'll see if they can get any closer today. So I'll be trying to communicate with the 8 players and streaming at the same time, which is where the difficulties could come in. So I'll get back to the voice chat for a second. I'll quickly have a look at the strategies on the stream, and then we can go. I will say it in the voice chat, and I will give a 1-minute alert as well, so that people who aren't in voice chat do have time to prepare. So quickly have a look at the strategies, which has this already shown, but that shouldn't have been shown. So what we are looking at the moment are the possible strategies. You start off on the Bronze Cup, where everyone will race a rookie car. It's generally Colmos. You might get another car, but the point of the strategy is that you only have 8 different choices and you don't have to do anything for that. Then there's a likely split on one hand between Candy Pebbles and RC Sun. Some players prefer RC Sun. I think Famous, who did quite a few runs, said that Candy Pebbles is faster, the pink car on the top, but RC Sun, the blue car in the middle for Silver Cup, is also a possibility, and some players like it better. The second best run on the leaderboard is with that. And the third, very different strategy with the purple car on the bottom, with R6 Turbo, is the chance of getting 3 stars with RC Sun or Candy Pebbles, but RC Sun is more likely. But that's quite a bit of a time loss. Frost measured it around in one of his test attempts this week, and it takes about 40 in-game seconds. You need to take Toivoid 1, you need to take Ghost Town 1, and you need to take the next track, Toivoid 2, and then you can unlock R6 Turbo, which is honestly a really good car for this cup. So, and you gain a lot back, but 40 seconds of loss is big. So the question is, can the players who go for this strategy gain enough time back? And there you see the final start being taken. And from then on, the players take R6 to the Gold Cup as well, which is why it's a big opportunity. But Penga TC is already at about level with R6. So R6 Turbo could still take some time back and is less painful according to some of the drivers. Some drivers really don't like Penga TC. But Penga TC still has space. So Gold Cup will be about tight, R6 is a bigger gain on Silver Cup. And then you head into the Platinum Cup and there's again two options. You also see the world record line highlighted, which goes Candy, Penga TC and then to Yeka. And for that, for the Platinum Cup, you need to take 3 very difficult stars honestly if you wanna get to Yeka. Adeon is slower and you lose. Honestly, this is a faster strategy with fast control. That's pretty much proven, but it's also very risky. This is Supermarket 1. This clip is from the world record. And Ghost and 2 is possibly the easiest out of them, but it still gets messed up. And as you will see now, and that's a possible time gain on that. So the world record can be beaten. It's gonna be really hard. There's not a high chance we'll be seeing that today. But also, I mean, it will be interesting to see. It's mainly about comparing the drivers to each other. I will be telling players that it's 1 minute to go now. And that's Fem's final star being taken soon. And that's how he unlocks the Yeka for the final cup. But it could be pain. We'll see. Let's hope the streams work. I don't think they will be synced up. But it's I'm gonna unmute in voice. Hello, it's 30 seconds to go. I believe Amma is not in voice chat and who else is not in there? It's Erza too. So they'll be the ones I'll actually ping. And Favorite is deafen. We'll be going in 10 seconds. Ready? It's go. So let's take a look at the streams. They are still loading and also so they'll be the ones I'll actually ping. Messed up. And Favorite is deafen.
Wait.
The other scene is good because I did this one later. Okay. Yeah, I'll still need to work on these in the first few races. But these are Amma, Kiki, who doesn't even have a name at the moment.
Okei, mennään.
Sitten mennään.
And I think they also changed his layout.
VLHS.
I don't know.
Yep.
This is a quick fix and they are racing on Toy in the Hood 1.
Mulla näköjään peliäänet kuuluu koneesta ja kaikki muut äänet kuuluu kuulokkeista vähän häiritsevää, mutta
So,
se on niin väliä.
we see Erzu, Amma, Lopez on the top right. He is there, he's just snuck a bit outside the canvas. So let's see the transform. Yeah, some of them got quite a bit messed up, which I did not anticipate. And the other 3, I'll do some reset transforms. Technical difficulties in the stream in the first race. Okay. And if we switch like this, I wonder. At the moment, the streams aren't looking the greatest, so I'll fully try to reload. Okay. So as you can see, they are racing. The comparisons were for most of them. You cannot see it on GeForce, under GeForce. I will be looking into that, and I will also be trying to fix up the other scene, where you would be able to see Lopeska, Erzu, Alma, and Kiki. I will be also adding a name to Kiki. You already see most of them finishing Supermarket 2 and GeForce with a bit of lag on my end. But the sync is not perfect. What you should be paying attention is the gaps on the bottom, which you cannot see with GeForce. So he is the furthest ahead, which might be why he's lagging actually. He doesn't have that much buffer. This is an experimental stream, to be honest. Treat it like that.
I got this once.
I'll be adding Kiki's name at the moment to his scene. Okay. So what you can see. Oh yeah, so GeForce is I think GeForce is older yeah, GeForce doesn't have a cropped version of this, which is the issue here. So that will also be done live.
Oh, my hands are cold, damn it.
So his comparison to the world record is gonna be added soon. Wow. This is some behind the scenes stuff right here. Very premium. Yeah, that can get a big bigger. And this scene is basically done, and we're not even finished with Bronze Cup. Now lag will be the only concern. Frost only 0.5 behind the world record after 2 tracks, so that's something to watch out for. Power is 3.9 behind that. G only 1.1 as well. I don't know why G doesn't. I'll increase G's network buffer. Maybe that will help. It helped a bit, I think, but I'm not quite sure. So Frost is with 0.5, Ashen is with 5.9, Favorite is with 3.9, and G is with 1.1. And now we can go to the other scene, which also might need some fixing.
Kuitenkaan vai?
Kiki
en
his
käytä
name
hypyssä.
needs to be added.
En mäkään, kun ei sitä on tosi vaikea saada kohdalla. Ja sitten siinä on riski, että kolaroi.
Niin ja sitten jos siinä onnistuu, niin sitä hyödyy hirveästi edes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did that in
Ei
the
oo mun
other
mielestä
scene, I
arvo
just didn't assign it to the group.
Lähtee riskejä.
So actually mostly fine. Lopeska slid off to the right again. And also Lopeska doesn't have the correct split. We can hear sound on this one, thank you. Almaners, you are unmuted. Kiki is unmuted, but Kiki has no sound anyway. Yes, G is playing at 0.3 frames per second, which is very impressive. I don't know how he keeps it together like that. And he's only 1 second down on the world record, so very impressive. So Erzu needs some fix here. the world record is below that, so we need less of this and more of this. Yeah, I think I'm still above that. Okay. Maybe I have to move that whole thing. Which would explain why it's like that. It does feel like it changed his layout a bit. Or the resolution. Still, it's now. Now it should be fine. So, and Lopesca. And it's lap 2 out of 5 for most of them on Garden. I still haven't fully prepared the scene for the Silver Star goers. I cannot tell you how many people will go for that. I know at least one person will go for it. I won't say much more, because players didn't want their strategies revealed. And also, I guess stream sniping could be a factor, although I don't think they will be doing that. So yeah, this scene has bigger gaps as far as I can tell. Except for maybe Kiki. Kiki is actually using the wall ride on Garden. I wonder if Frost is going for that, so let's head back to the other scene. Yeah, that was still from the buffer. This is where they are at the moment. Frost is already past his last actual wall rideable section there. So as for the Silver Stars,
Yep, my split is messed up. I don't know what happened.
I don't think I will be switching scenes. So let's have a look at this. Remember, there's 3 different strategies. G, I expect, will be going for RC Sun, and you can see that he is actually doing that. But what do the other players here do? Frost is going into practice. Powerade is going for Pebbles, Candy Pebbles, and Ashen is going for Candy Pebbles as well. G only 1 point. Is that 1 point something behind the leaderboard? I think if I go and put this into full screen mode, oh wow, Frost is already on Ghost Town. I think he's getting those stars quite fast. Let's see. Oh, Powerade is falling off in the meantime. So while Frost is going for that, Powerade fell off with Candy Pebbles. So that's unfortunate and not a common mistake. You see, Frost is falling off from the start. That's a big loss. That's like 10 seconds. And he's almost flipping. That might be a potential record gone. So he'll be disappointed with that, but he does have R6. He'll be quite a bit behind after this race. I'm gonna switch to the other scene to see if anyone ultimately went for that strategy. Because Lopesca told me he didn't know what he'd be going for, and also it seems like it couldn't quite properly load at the moment. So I'll check back in a second. Let's have a look at these players. I believe it's 9.9 for Powerade. If you want the data in better quality, then I'll be sending the driver streams link
Is it bad?
in Twitch.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
I will try to get an official ranking.
Very good, okay.
I will write them down at the very least.
As well.
And yeah, Frost lost quite a bit on that. Let's see if they load now. Yeah. So on the other scene, none of them is going for R6 Turbo. 3 Candy Pebbles, 1 RC Sun in Erzu. So the 2 RC Suns, I believe, are GeForce and Erzu. Let's have a look at this scene for a while. Because we've been looking at the other one for quite a bit as well. I appreciate the words of the chat. Lopeska is like 15 seconds behind world record. For Kiki, I think I should make it a bit bigger still. But part of the problem is the graininess, I think. Because I asked everyone to stream in like 2 megabits to 2.5. Maybe I should have also asked them to do it in 30 FPS or something. But it should still be somewhat visible, at least in full screen, I think. Lopeska is at 21 seconds now. Erzu, 13.3. Amma is using a translucent background, which is a bit unfortunate because it's not as visible on the bottom of that. I'll be quickly opening Alma's stream in the browser and try to check how far behind he actually is. Let's hope this doesn't lag OBS. So Alma's gap 7 point something, I think, which is not too bad. So Alma is standing the best out of these players, and out of the other scene, this is still the buffer, so they will be on Hoot 2 as well. G, only 1.5 from the record, but the thing is, G is, oh my god, G has just hit R6 Turbo and pushed R6 out of this whole screen. But also, in his best run, he used the Adeon on the Platinum Cup, which is possibly a good reason why he lost out compared to Fem. Oh, I also see that G has the issue of not having the last trucks splits from all the cups except for Platinum, and I think this was an issue almost everyone had, because I instructed the players, how to import the comparison from speedrun.com, but for some reason most of them had the issue, and where 3 separate tracks weren't filled, so the comparison will not be there.
Way better.
Namely, the next one is Toiver 2, like that. If you look at G's screen, on the left you see a dash next to Toiver 2, which is because there's no comparison time from Fem. And some of them filled it in manually, and some of them had it working by default. I don't know. It's something to do with the splits, I think. G will soon be finishing Toys in the Hood, and I did say that they aren't in sync, but G is definitely ahead of the rest of them. Favorite is already behind the comparison as far as I can tell. In fact, they all are. Oh yeah, just look at the times. So Ashen, G and Favorite are almost synced up in-game time-wise. Frost is a bit lower on that, and also Frost is using R6, so he's not very relevant in this comparison. He's gonna be relevant later. Let's see how he can gain back time, because he will be around a minute from Fem. It's 40 something seconds. It's down to 36. He gained a few seconds there for sure. Also, I will be quickly doing ping or a stream announcement at least. because also I got busy today, and you could probably tell that the start of the stream was in a hurry already. Okay, so with that done, Frost was at 36.0. I think that's the most interesting thing to look at the moment. That's why I'm focusing on Frost the most, because he's on the different strategy compared to the world record as well. And we're not sure actually which strategy is the better one. And also an important factor is that PengaTC is might be faster optimization wise. Like, the perfect run would be better, but even then, you might not be able to achieve a perfect run with PengaTC, because PengaTC is PengaTC, and it flips and does weird stuff. And yeah, Ashen and Powerade are quite close to each other. Ashen was 23.7 after that track, Powerade 26.0. So Ashen is 2 seconds ahead. They are very close. G is very clearly in the lead of this group. Let's have a look at the other one again. Lopeska, Erzi and Amma are quite a bit into that track. Kiki's stream is a bit behind. I wonder if he started a bit later as well, or something happened. But the gap is not much bigger. In fact, Erzo is 20 seconds behind. Erzo is a bit ahead of Ashen and Powerade, I believe. And Amma is still under 10 seconds. That's definitely a single digit number. Kiki started later, alright. Oh, and Lopeska with the crash! Oh no, that's a big time loss on Candy Pebbles there in the final turn. Also, another thing to discuss here is that they have to be using an older version. Dwark tried updating the Speedrun tool once, but the addresses weren't working properly, so he had to revert it. And I don't know if he's tried fixing it ever since, but this is an older version of the game. And what that means is some of you who are more invested in the community might know that this version still has no wall fixes. Which I'm bringing it up right now because Toiver 2 is one of the most important tracks when it comes to that. They are on Candy Pebbles, RC Sans, and one R6, but oh, Kiki having difficulties with the ball in the meantime. Amma almost hitting the train. So yeah, it's not as big an issue on these cars, and also you can just not go for the wall rides really because they turn well compared to their speeds. Still. Yeah, Kiki has, well, 20 how do you mean 20 seconds? His timer is at 19:09 and Lopescas is like 40 seconds ahead when it comes to the timer. Also, world record wise, his comparison is around 20 lows, as far as I can tell. Erzu is 21.2 behind. He's checking the timing, I think, or is checking something in window mode. There will be no star shenanigans right now unless they unlock Rotor and get the Starfleet Rotor, but that's not a likely strategy. Amma is heading into Gold Cup. Erzu is heading into Gold Cup. Erzu 21.2 behind. Amma has no comparison, as I saw there was this issue. Although Amma said he fixed it manually. Oh. No, Amma's timer restarted. Oh no. Well, I think that's a DNF. And that's very unfortunate for him, but we're on twice in the 2. That's definitely no restarts happening here. I don't know if he messed it up, he pressed the button or something. But something definitely went wrong there. I leave his screen on but that is not fixable. Yeah, so Alma will not be on the final leaderboard, but on off the stream, maybe post race it can be fixed. Alma especially asked me if if this stream counts as a recording, and I told him how to enable VOD on Twitch. Let's have a look at the other 4 players. No one else having these issues. Frost with a big flip.
Yes.
He's still 28 seconds behind. As far as I can tell, is the 20. 8 and 0 are similar looking numbers. G is on a decent run though. And if anyone can do something crazy on these weird cars, it's gonna be G.
It's slow, but it worked. Slow, but it worked. At least I did it.
Yeah, Amma found a glitch, not in the game. He found a glitch in the timer. That's insane. That applies to all games. There is some lags going on. Honestly, the streams have been working quite flawlessly. Also, they aren't fully lined up well. It's not.
Okay, what next in England?
It's not symmetric. I'm gonna quickly fix that because now it's gonna be bothering my eyes. Okay, that's good. Don't blow up that GeForce. Oh, GeForce is gonna be hitting the door on Pengatisi, and this is why R6 can be a better choice.
Alright.
Okay.
So we're moving to greener.
Yeah, now it's fine. Now they are all the same size.
There's 2 more bridges.
G having some issues with pass control as well. He's gonna be losing time, I think. He wasn't. Was that 2 point something?
Okay, no bridge. No bridge.
Let's
Okay,
see
that's
how
fine.
OBS reacts when I full screen
Fine
project
game.
it. I'm gonna be doing that now.
Fine.
G is now 3.7 behind. Let me know if there was any lag while I did that. Frost did a 39.9. That's a really good lap. He was 20. Is that 20.0? I think that's 28.0. Yeah, it looks like 28.0 to me. And he will be.
Thank you.
Is now, I think, ahead of Powerade and Ashen. Is 22 off world record. And there's still 3 tracks left in the Gold Cup. Honestly, G must be screaming soon. Because Frost is coming for him.
And then I threw it away.
And Powerade is 40 seconds behind now. So Powerade and Ashen are overtaken by Frost. Ashen is like 48.7. Powerade took Ashen back. And oh, just as I say that, he crashes. Oh, he crashes big time. And now 6 AI are ahead of him again. So that's how you can lose like 4 to 5 seconds in one straight away.
The ball. And that's the jump.
We can eat Ashen's game.
I went straight.
You are correct. So Ashen is quite a bit closer now to Powerade. The 2 of them are in a battle, and Frost and G as well. You might be seeing them 1 lap apart. But on one hand, Frost is a bit behind on the timer on our screens. And on another, Frost is on the R6 for 3 races including this one, so 2.5 at this point. Let's see how the other racers are faring. They are all on Toiver with Pengatisi, and honestly, Pengatisi landings can be a nightmare. Oh yeah, Amma is... I was gonna look at Amma's world records comparison, but I realized that that's not something that's gonna work well. Erzo is 28. Lopesca is 38. Lopesca is just ahead of both Powerade and Ashen, I think. So if he's gonna run well, he could beat both of them. And Amma with a crash, but again, Puram is having LiveSplit issues. I don't know if he knows that at the moment, because some players only have one monitor. I know I do, and I know I have this pain that I can only check it basically during podium celebrations. So I don't know if Amma realized it by now, but it's gonna be very disappointing for him. And Kiki is 20 something. I think like Kiki is close to Erstu time wise, as far as I can tell. Amma almost landing on Evil Whistle as well. I think he launched the car. AI is an important factor in these speedruns. I'll try to switch around the scene for better matchup viewing. So like, I think Erzu, Kiki, maybe Lopeska, Ashen, Powerade are worth viewing at the same time, but also the thing is, there's 5 of them that are close, although that could change. We'll be seeing split strategies on the Platinum Cap as well. I don't want to shuffle Amma out of the broadcast just because of his LiveSplit failure, but if it comes to putting it on the battles, putting the scenes where the battles are, I think Amma will obviously be in the one where there's only 2 players, namely Frost and G, I think. Because Frost and G are the ones running really strong at the moment. Let's take a look at them. So Frost was 22 behind. Did he actually lose time? He lost time on Toy Verva Mirror compared to Famous, not compared to GeForce. Well, I think he lost time compared to GeForce because GeForce has gained back some time, and this is important because does R6 have a higher top speed? I don't know if it has a higher top speed, but I know that we've checked with Frost that R6 had a better time on the speedrun.com leaderboard. And yeah, the past stars will be coming up. That could be a run killer. Run killer could be coming up. We'll see. I will be creating a scene. Let me go into studio mode. You'll be watching it like this for a bit. And I will be adding the players that I believe will be going for those. Oh yeah, I also need to add the red book to every new scene. Yeah, Ashen is doing really good, honestly. I think he's quite capable, which might show differently in speedruns than in other kinds of, let's say, online races. I think it's nice that we can have this kind of an event. And it seems like it is going well, so here's the more of these. I will be checking the list of players for the Platinum stars. Well, I'm not 100% sure actually who will be going for this. But okay. So I know of 3. And I will be adding a 4th one who might or might not. So yeah, Ashen is very close to Powerade. You can basically look at them and compare them like this, because they're the ones who are basically synced up. G as well. G is a full lap ahead of Powerade and Ashen basically at this point. Frost's best lap is a 50.9, so that could be a gain on G-Force. Let's watch them until the finish of this race. Oh, Pulpus was almost in the way of Frost. So G will be finishing now. That was at 31.40. Frost will be hitting 31.40 about now. Is G tied with the third record? Is that 0.0 I'm seeing? Frost is 17.3. So Frost I think gained on G and the world record on that track, but G gained on the record as well. And he's doing some magic with Panga TC. Museum 1 might be the hardest track, but of course, if there's one person who is kind of known for driving horrible cars with bad handling or flipping tendencies very well, that's usually G. G is the person who can master cars often. Frost crashes and the drop, and it looks to be slipping away more and more for him. As G seems to be doing decent on Museum 1, even this is the hardest track on Panga TC for sure. The same is true for R6 though. But Panga TC or Toys in the Hood 2 could be on par with it when it comes to the bridge section, because Panga TC hates bumps. Frost on the R6 Turbo still gained some time on that lap 1. 0.2. He gained 0.2 on G. Frost can have the pace here, but is 17 seconds behind, and they will be possibly going split strategies on the final cup, but I still don't know what G will be going for, because his best time is with Adion, and I think I was in a voice chat with him a few days ago, and I think he's used to this run based on what he was saying. He's a full up out of Ashen on this track as well now. Power It and Ashen are still really close, and Panga TC is an important card when it comes to determining the gaps. Let's have a look at the other scene. They are not on Titanic, it's just still loading. So Erz is 27.6 behind. Amma still has LiveSplit issues. Lopeska is crashing at the U-turn section, where AI is the biggest issue. Erzo is getting stuck on the final bridge, but he's gonna be surviving. Still, he must have lost a bit of time there. So I will be going into studio mode and sorting that scene for the platinum stars, based on the players that might go for it a bit more. Okay. And I will be adding one more person there. I'm not great at covering up that I am adding some players from this scene, but I do not know who. Some players might be riskier, but just because you know someone for the risking doesn't mean they will be going for that strategy. So we'll see. We'll see. They are heading into the final lap soon on Museum 1, and Amma will be the first to do that. I'm really sorry for Amma, he's actually on a quite good run based on his position. I really hope Dvork can recalculate them. I mean, I think Alma became a moderator on speedrun.com for Revolt, so hey, maybe you can approve it regardless, but of course I'm joking with that. And let's take one look at G's versus Frost before those final parts of this run. G is already finished with this cup. And he will be followed by Frost soon. Powerade and Ashen are almost pretty much 100% on par. As Powerade crashes, Ashen has overtaken him, I believe. There's a bit of difference in the timing, so they might just be tied at this point in the run. And I will be switching to the Platinum players. G is already in the other cup, I believe, in Platinum Cup. But Frost is going for it. So this is his first try. If he doesn't make this, he's gonna have a big loss. He's going for it now. He's gonna jump for it. He missed it. Yeah, I think the race is basically going to G with this. Frost missed the start. And Amma made it! Amma made it! I'm gonna be really curious about the time, honestly. And Amma is going to ghost down. And Frost now makes it on the second try. Amma is honestly quite a bit ahead of Frost as well. Amma's time can just be added up, I think, if you have the VOD. Because it might have reset to 0, but it reset at the loading. So you can just add it together, it's in-game time still. And Powerade is going for it ultimately. He wasn't sure. Frost got Ghost Town now. And Amma will be going... Oh, Amma missed it! That's a big distance that you have to go back. And Frost will be going for it now. He's not going for the big run up. Kiki's gonna miss the start on the first try, I think. Powerade made it. Frost going for his second attempt on Titanic. Amma as well. Amma! How did he miss that? That's very unfortunate, but he did miss that. Frost is getting it. Frost is going for Platinum, but he's quite a ways behind G now. He was 13 seconds behind record. Did Frost get Titanic on first try actually? Or was that second try? Does anyone in the chat know? Powerade now gets the start as well. And I think Powerade and Ashen are having split strategies as well. So who's gonna come out on top from them is also a question. I see none of them change the default skin onto Yeka. I think I did that once, but I would change it to my skin. And then it wouldn't take time, and I'm also more used to driving my own skin, with my own skin. But yeah, we'll see the gaps after this first race. Kiki is still going for the start. I think I will be switching back to one of the main scenes. And Lopesca! Oh, Lopesca also went for it. So there were 5 people going, and I think Lopesca actually didn't do too bad. Although it does look like he lost some time, and he's now gonna be falling into the drop. Erzo didn't go for it. Lopesca was hesitant. Powerade was hesitant. And I added Powerade out of them. It ended up both of them going for it. So interesting. They made those choices while they were running. They are probably also in voice chat, so I wonder how much that influenced them. I can say that I am seeing... Hold on a second. Oh, everyone is definitely in the voice chat. Except for GeForce. And Lopesca, but Lopesca is muted, so... G... I think they are very much focused on this run, which is understandable. Kiki is gonna be flipping on that Yeka. I wonder if G is still... Oh, G is already on Ghost Town, and he's 1 minute 4 ahead of the record. Don't let that fool you. Fam went for Yeka. So, the question is, how much will he be losing with every time with every track, with every... basically every lap. Also, Ashen is quite a bit behind that. What happened to Ashen? He's 112 behind the record. Oh, it's just that G. But Ashen should have gained a bunch on that. Also, Frost and Favorite are not loaded. I'm aware of that. I will be just re-okaying that. And same for Favorite. So yeah, Favorite is actually... Well, he's gonna still... Oh wait, Ashen's gap is from before, but he only gained 40 seconds by not going for that. So Favorite might be able to fight back on that front. It's getting harder and harder to follow with 8 racers and different strategies, and one of them not even having the correct time shown. I think that's why Amma will just be an excitement for the end. We'll see how much the added up time ends up being. Oh, Ashen is racing to Yeka. This is quite metaphorical, because he's also racing Yeka in this run at the moment, which is probably Favorite based on what we've been seeing. Favorite going for the cut finish. Favorite is less than a minute behind Ashen. G is 1 minute 4 ahead, but the Toyeko famous takes no breaks in this Platinum Cup, I think. He had a few mistakes, but that Yeka was really strong. So 1 minute 4, I feel like it will not be enough after market. We'll see. He could still do a PB, which would still be very much impressive. And Frost is, I believe, 42 seconds behind the record after market as well. So Frost doesn't seem like he'll be doing a world record. They are fighting for the event win still, although G has a higher chance at the moment. G was behind before going for Frost going for the Platinum Stars. And Frost, while he... Oh, what I was gonna say is Frost also lost out on the star. So I don't see a high chance of Frost catching, but Frost will be catching Ashen soon. But that's a different scenario. He wasn't fighting Ashen, he was fighting G for first. Yeah, G, you can see the world record time counting down as he's heading to the end of the race. He lost like more than 10 seconds on this race alone. Toivoid 1 Reverse Mirror is a fairly top-speed oriented track. Honestly, could G still have a chance at this? Because I was saying that he might be comparable to Frost. G could be standing decently. If you wanna check, you can go to the speedrun.com leaderboard. In fact, I can quickly go to that. I'm gonna go to all cups without pickups. Copy this YouTube link. So now, tell me when G finished Toivoid 1 Reverse Mirror. If you can. Or feel free to watch this. That will be... I think Andor or Fem can do that if they really want to know the comparison. Because that's G's personal best run. And also, it looks like he has gold splits all throughout. But I don't know if he kept his split file round. So that might not be relevant. Frost is entering Toivoid with a 37-second gap. Ashen will be even further behind and on the Aeon, so he'll be losing further seconds. 49-44. So G needs to be around 30 seconds ahead of that, I think. The 49-44 when he finishes this track. We'll check back, but let's take a look at the other players too. Sorry if you wanted to do some maths right now. Almost still finishing Ghost Town. And also with the wrong timer, so. Lopesco too, yeah, the Toyekas in this scene are still on Ghost Town. I'm not sure who to compare to who else. Erzo is doing decent. Actually, Erzo could be compared to Frost, but the ABC blocks are his big enemies right now, and he'll be almost flipping. So I will be making a scene. I think Erzo, Frost, G, and Amma could be an interesting scene. But I will be making the scene when I enter studio mode, because we don't want to be switching away to an empty scene. It was Frost, Amma, G. I don't know who else. So who else is close to Frost or G, or very much out of this run? I think Lopesca will be comparable. Not comparable to Kiki for sure. I think Kiki is only 1 minute. Or is that a bit more? Let me see if I can see it better in full screen. Yeah, Kiki is 120 something as far as I can tell. Or is it? Yeah, 122. Kiki is still 30 seconds ahead of Lopesca. He could still get close to Erzu. And in the other scene, where G will be finishing Toiver soon, I think. Let's see where he is right now. Imagine if I took too long. Oh, now they're not loading. Very cool. None of them are loading. Okay. I'll be hitting OK on G, because he is the one we really need to know. So it was 49.44 in his best run ever. In his personal best, I mean. Okay, now they've all loaded. And G will be ahead of that, I think, but not by that much. He still needs more than 15 seconds on his personal best here, as far as I can tell. And also G is doing the same kind of lag again, I think, because I manually hit OK, is now buffering. I wonder if it's because of his location still. The high ping is still costly, even this far away. But he's gonna be finishing it around 49.30. Yeah, 49.30.21. Oh. It's looking really bad right now. I'm gonna be hitting OK again. Maybe a reload will help. Yeah, it's looking better at the moment. So, yeah, G is only 28 on the world record right now. I don't think he has a high chance at this. He could do a close run. He could do a PB. And also Museum 1. If he does it well, it could be interesting. Still. So yeah, definitely PB pace for G-Force. Powerade. Wait, is Powerade actually almost on par with Kiki? I think so. So the fight is, I mean, Frost is closest to G. Frost is not fighting anyone. Ashen could be caught by Powerade. Although Powerade is quite a bit behind Ashen at this point. We'll see. Toyeka versus Odeon exists, and it's less than 30 seconds after this race. Wait, actually, it's based on G's times. I think Powerade is standing better at the moment. If G has a 30-second advantage, and that's not enough, then Ashen's less than 30-second advantage over Powerade will not be enough either. So, Ashen seems to be falling into the grasp of Powerade soon. Powerade is gonna be losing some time as well here. We'll see. Powerade might not be able to match the world record, of course, so it's now about 18 seconds behind Ashen. It looks to be favorites at the moment, but it could all go right or wrong in Museum and Titanic. And in the other scene, they will be updated soon. Erzu definitely ahead of Ashen at the moment. In fact, Erzu is ahead of Frost as well, so Erzu could be going for the same into the same scene as Frost, and G. And I accidentally switched to that, and also the music didn't go away, so that's nice. At least I think so. I still heard it. Next speedrun race they gotta do Fat Slug Platinum. I mean, that would be interesting for sure. But also there's a decent chance they won't even finish, which also makes it more exciting on one hand. On another, do you mean the full thing or like a 20-minute race? Just Platinum Cup Fat Slug. I will be adding Erzu to that scene, who is flipping on Museum at the moment. He had an unfortunate encounter with an AI and possibly also the dinosaur. We'll also be seeing Amma in that scene. And these are the final two tracks. So it's gonna all come down to the next one basically. We'll be looking at G's split in a sec. I will be setting up as much of the other scene as I can, and I will be creating a separate one for Favorite, Ashen, Kiki, and Lopeska. I cannot Kiki and Lopeska right now, they are loaded. Okay, Kiki is added, and Lopeska is added. Perfect, and we will be looking at the other scene until I can add the remaining players to the scenes for the final tracks. G will be completing it first. G might already be behind here actually. He might be behind world record, and it's Titanic 2 coming up. That's not gonna be a world record for sure. He lost quite a bit of time here, and also could it still be PB? Because Titanic is one of the hardest tracks when it comes to EDM versus Toyeka. Favorite, I think, crashed big time on that final bridge. I'm still preparing the scenes for the final race, because it will be nice to see the actual comparisons. People who are compared. And also GeForce is in the lead, so he's ahead of everyone else by quite a bit actually. And okay, so the scenes should be almost good to go. I still need to add the music. Okay. So, let's go over to the scenes which we'll be watching as we get close to the end. Erzu and Amma are still being loaded in. So, G, on the bottom left you see him, he is standing the best. He won't be getting world record. He is ahead, but he's on 80 on. Fam was on Toyeka when did that time. But G could still be second on the leaderboard with a PB here. Frost is fighting for second and he will be keeping that. Erzu fell quite a bit behind. Let's take a look at the other scene. The gaps are what you're looking for. It's not the comparing of their places. Although Paurit and Ashen are near sync and they were only 4 seconds apart as well. So unless Ashen pulls a miracle on Titanic, he will be beaten by Powerade. And what was Kiki's gap there? So Kiki was 135 as far as I can tell, so he should be beating both of them. And oh, can Kiki actually catch Erzu here? I think, what was Erzu's time? I think Erzu will be beating Kiki, but we'll see, we'll see. And Amma is still with timer issues. Amma, imagine if Amma does pull world record. Yeah, that would be very interesting. I don't know what the chances are. It would likely be ahead in sync as well. He's quite a bit behind. I think he messed up the stars at least once. He made Supermarket 1 the first try, I believe. But he definitely messed up Titanic 2. The track you're seeing right now, he couldn't get the star at first. So I think he'll definitely be behind Frost. Who is he gonna beat is the question. And since I don't know where to put him. G is already in his final lap. So you'll be able to see G possibly get the personal best. His personal best time is a 1:0:30. He's gonna beat that, I think. He's gonna be heading into the final turns of Titanic here. And he's gonna cross that finish line here. It's a 1:0:21, the winning time of the event. Frost is gonna be following him soon. Frost losing quite a bit of time on those stars. And also, the R6 choice did not pay off. It does feel like Pengatisi is stronger, or maybe Frost just made too many mistakes. But Frost will still be second, as far as I can tell, unless Amma's time happens to be faster than Frost. Which could be a factor. I think Erzu will be finishing next. Let's take a look at the other sync quick. They're still loading. And yeah. As far as we're concerned, Erzu will be finishing next, and Powerade is ahead of Ashen at this point by quite a bit. Although he is crashing at the moment, but Toyeka is really strong on Titanic. We see that G also lost a lot of time. Erzu has finished in the meantime with a 1:01:33. And Amma has finished with a time of, I have no idea. It was around 41:05 when he crossed the line. Okay, I'm gonna be writing this down at the very least. And you'll be seeing the other players finish soon as well. In fact, Powerade has finished with 101.57. Kiki will beat Powerade likely. Lopesca is crashing in the meantime. Lopesca is not gonna beat Ashen. Oh, that's interesting. I think Lopesca was 280. So even if he matched the record, he couldn't have beaten him, but he would have been close. Kiki finished with a 101.35, beating Powerade. What was Erzu's time? I'm not 100% sure. And Lopesca is the final finisher with a 102.24. So I'm gonna be writing them down. So Lopesca with that time. One second, I'm gonna be unmuted in the voice chat for a sec. It might take a time to get the times ready because Amma will need a bit of recalculation. I will say that much. So that's the results and also some artifacts of quotes, which I will be quickly removing, but you can still see the times. So Amma comes in third with that G winning by 22 seconds ahead of Frost. These are manually calculated times for Amma, so it's not fully official, but it should be. I think it is accurate. And Amma still did great based on this. And also, thank you for the new chatters and for the follows. I am seeing the message for that now in the chat. I saw someone mention that they might start speedrunning the game, which is really nice. I might be hosting more events like this. There we have it. Whoa. Production. Yeah. So Fam keeps the record, but these are some really nice time, honestly. It's one shot. G did astonishingly. And I mentioned G is a really consistent racer, especially when it comes to weird cars. And I would count Panga TC as a weird car, even though it's a stock one, because like players often think of customs when that gets brought up, but I think Panga TC is a really hard car to drive, and if someone can master it with really careful tappings and stuff like that, it's G. I will certainly be hosting similar events, possibly with more public announcements. This was invitational because with 8 players it was already not easy to follow. So I think this is not very doable with more than 8. It could be done with spot reservations or stuff like that. But if it's publicly announced, it would be like whoever can be fast at reserving will be able to make it. And you also need to be able to stream for this. But I think it's a nice new way of basically online races. It might require a bit of scripting, but what I will say right now is thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the new follows, and the next time we'll be going live will be actually tomorrow. I'm not sure I will be able to be there. Hong should be streaming the Revolt Racing League's Division 2 event of Stock Pro Knockout with pickups, which might be a show for some players who like speedruns, but Division 2 could still be fun to purchasing. And after that, on Tuesday, will be Division 1 on another channel, which is the Hot Seat one. So feel free to follow that one as well, if you're following this one. The Revolt events broadcasted there are the Tuesday ones, the Division 1. They also broadcast some other games, which you might be able to see. And we will be having a Museum 2 Endurance. So if you enjoyed this is very much an Endurance-like event. It was really fun to host, it was really fun to organize this. I'm glad players and viewers enjoyed it. It's also really complicated and takes effort, but we now know it works, so hope to see you next time.